fixed their issues from game 1 though. Like their physical output is way higher now. They don't need to be scared of the living armor coming out from Whitemon. They can just overwhelm it. And birthday.
Whose birthday, Bryle?
Is it Bryle's birthday?
Oh, it's Bryle's birthday.
Oh!
Happy birthday, Bryle.
No, it's what? Is it Bryle or Whitemon? Are we being baited?
Well, hold on. Whose birthday is it?
You know,
hold on.
I will search right now.
Search up
which
whose
is
birthday
sad
it
because
is.
Whitemon's my friend.
Oh my goodness.
No, it's definitely not Whitemon.
All right, well, we'll figure that out while you're looking for it. We do have a video ready as well from Ari. We asked him the same question. Does he have any message to the fans? Let's hear from Ari.
I don't really have a routine. I like to join calls early and chat to my team about, how their day is going, whatever they're doing, how they're feeling. And just get in the zone together. I always bring lots of snacks. But there's no superstitious thing or anything like that. I always play Overthrow 3 before I play. I find it's like a really good custom game warm up. This gets my hands warm, and I always like to do this before I play any tournament. Chat, spam, go TSM in the chat. I want to see positivity.
When we asked the guy a message to the fans, he started talking about his preparation for matches. I heard him talk about another game as well. We won't discuss that.
Overthrow?
Don't know what he's. Don't say the damn game, Jonathan.
But it's just a mood here,
I
right?
mean, it is. I don't like that game. I'm not good at it. I don't want to talk about it.
I do have an update. It is Bryle's birthday.
Happy birthday,
so,
Bryle. Birthday boy.
Absolutely. Birthday boy, Bryle. Maligayang kaarawan, as he would say in his Filipino native tongue.
Very good.
Mr. Phil and Bryle.
I thought he was American Filipino.
Yeah, well,
So it's not really his native tongue, is it?
Yeah, well, it kind of changes around depending on what they'd want. And speaking of like the Filipino matchup, I forgot to mention it. It slipped my mind. Abed versus Bryle. The Filipino versus the Philham. This is great. This is Southeast Asia.
Right.
We've got it.
We're
The
back.
Rambulan.
There
We're
you go.
here.
Rambulan. Very good to see.
It's been so long.
The last game around, I mean, I can't say Bryle won out the mid lane. It was a very even affair between the two. Obviously, TSM won out game 1. John, what do you think the odds are for Shopify here to pull off a victory here in this game number 2?
I'd say it should still be TSM favored considering their performance in game 1. I would say around 1.6 to 3 would be around the ballpark figure we'd see from esportsbet.io. It's a bit of a fight here.
Kasane in a bit of trouble here. Already going to go down. First blood to go the way of Shopify Rebellion. Abed the one to pick up the kill, and you've got to be happy with that. Giving the mid lane of the first kill of the game. Fantastic start here for Abed. And Shopify already off to a brilliant start.
Yeah, they're off on a good start. That kind of sets them up well. Again, when you talk about that mid lane matchup for Bryle and Abed, every little lead for these two will just pile up. It should feel a lot better for Abed. I don't think Bryle can really threaten. The level 3 timing for Storm is not amazing there. So Abed should actually go off to a good start. The question is what he goes for. Will he go for the Midas? Does he want to be active with an urn, rotating around the map? That kind of dictates how fast Shopify Rebellion can play off the back of him.
Of course, we can have a look at the side lanes as well. What about that top lane? Arteezy's there on that Terrorblade. Going to be against Kasane and Ari. And of course, he's actually going to have a tri-lane going right now. Crit and Fly going to move in. They'll try to go after Ari. They'll see the Pugna. They have the level 1 tag team up. Ari, he'll be chased down. Surely no way out of this one. Though he is trying to juke his way out, but it's not going to be enough. Crit will pick up his second kill of the game. So they do find a very nice pick off. And I kind of wonder how long they keep the trail lane going here for Arteezy. Though against the lane that they have, like the Pugna Centaur, it's not so easy for the Terrorblade. So it seems like they might just maintain this trail lane.
Yeah, just apply that pressure. Level 1 for Ari is just atrocious. You don't have that decrep save. You've got a lot of ways of just melting to this physical output. Arteezy can just focus in on farm. And you can kind of leave Saberlight alone. He's just farming well by himself anyway.
Oh, Kasane now, pretty out of position. That tag team just does so much work. The chase is on. Nether Blast's all the way out. Reflection is there. Kasane, he is going to drop to the damage of Fly this time around. So third kill already for Shopify Rebellion. I wonder if TSM are going to respond to the trail lane by bringing Whitemon up. For now, Whitemon's sticking around chasing wolves in the forest. And those wolves are actually tracking a creep wave. And this is what I hate. Saberlight on these micro heroes, he's ridiculous. Yeah, he's absolutely disgusting.
He maximizes them so well. At least Whitemon does get the pull into the large camp, so no range creep coming out. Oh.
Mid lane, Crit already rotating mid, finds another one.
And it just goes back to what the panel said, right? Crit just sacks Saberlight's lane, plays up top, rotates mid. The presence of Storm here up against Invoker is just not amazing. It's not a lane that the Storm necessarily finds an angle in, unless the Invoker extremely steps out of position. So Shopify Rebellion, they've got this early start going for themselves. They've got this aggression lined up. They can apply that early pressure, start to play around. They don't need too much farm to come out from Saberlight. Even Arteezy doesn't need too much in the Terrorblade. Like Manta plus one strength item, you're kind of okay to join in whenever Metamorphosis is up. So that pacing, it'll throw TSM off, because you have Alina that needs farm, you have the Storm that needs a ridiculous amount of farm, and Kasane doesn't really have anyone to play with unless the other cores are ready. So it's just going to lead to the stalled out timing for TSM that Shopify Rebellion they're taking advantage of right from the laning phase.
Certainly so. Of course, we are looking at a very, very big creep pool here from Ari that does end up working out. Of course, Fly could not put an end to it. They will meet the creeps here by the tier 1 tower. They'll take 2 for themselves. That's what you want as well. You want to deny off 2 of your creeps, keep the wave available, deny off maybe another 2 if you can. Fly's going to try and be as annoying as possible. It actually does get... In fact, it wasn't a deny from Fly, it was a deny from Kasane. He will keep trying to juke and jive with this creep wave just through the tree line. Arteezy in the meantime pulling the small camp to try and equalize the creep waves. See who wins this one out. Because Kasane, he's still got a creep wave in front of his tier 1 tower, but well, Arteezy, he's got a creep wave behind his tier 1 tower. Mind you, the Radiant creep wave is absolutely huge. So chances are Arteezy will still hold on to the equilibrium.
Yeah, should have a better time of it and just get that build-up he wants. Like, he's not being contested. He's not losing HP. While Kasane, trying to clear out the creeps, right-clicks from Fly, drops him way low. Even with the double ring of protection, it's not really enough to stop that right-click harassment coming out from Fly. It just feels a lot better here for Arteezy. Already at 22 to 13, controlling that lane perfectly, having a great time. Timado's having an even better time down bot solo, though. So that could be a cause of concern. Saberlight kind of lagging behind. He's not building up.
Look at Crit with the Wolves. Saberlight's just microing them, and Whitemon, he can't walk. Crit's just getting all the damage in. Oh, this is sickening. Oh, it's sickening.
Yeah, even Whitemon has to get a tip out.
I mean, how do you...
Nah.
I mean, how does he do it? How does it, like, how many hands does Saberlight have? How many keyboards does this guy use?
To be fair, you know, Saberlight just kind of AFK'd us here on the right side. He is protected. He knows there's no threat of being jumped by Timado. Timado would much rather farm. And he is sacrificing a lot of CS for that. So Whitemon's just putting his body forward, ensuring Timado has his lane. Whereas for Saberlight, yes, he finds the kill. He is still getting that build up towards the Dominator, but you're not stopping Timado. And we've seen what he can do on that Lina. It is a different game with a different set of circumstances, though. So they might be able to still better handle him as long as they get that build up on the Lycan through these kills.
Oh, immediate D ward out there onto Crit's Observer ward, placed on that high ground. TSM going to make sure he doesn't have that kind of advantageous vision into that mid lane. So they want to make sure Brawl has a best of a lane as possible. He's already died once, and of course Abed is well and truly ahead. Level 6 now on the Invoker. Rotating into the bottom lane, Timado completely on his own. They are going to land with the Tornado and the Cold Snap into the EMP. In comes Crit with the tag team, and Timado, there's just no way to survive through it. Abed with a 2-level advantage over Brawl, meaning he can just rotate so early on. Just nothing they can do about it.
Yeah, they can't stop him, and even if you did manage to get more support rotations, you don't have the best. Kasane forced the TP away with Arteezy committing that Metamorphosis up. So you've got basically every lane won out here for Shopify Rebellion. The issue for TSM is their supports aren't really that aggressive. You've got a Treant and a Pugna. They don't do much in rotations.
Whitemon, wish he didn't walk out of that tree line now, I'm sure. Zabed was just standing right there waiting for it, but the neutrals, very nice.
Oh.
Tips out from Whitemon. Abed will hand the tip back over.
He just stood there too. He knew it. He knew it was coming.
What can you do? It happens.
It happens. It's some space out. Not too much space again for TSM. With a support duo, they just can't take early activity. I mean, they could maybe line up if they land, say, an LSA or a hoof stomp, but it's easier said than done, and it just doesn't feel like you're able to rotate around the same way Shopify Rebellion is, because you've got a Mirana, you've got a Tusk. They can make so much happen on the map just together. And they even managed to find that Javelin for Timado, so stalling out his farming pace just a little bit more, being a huge nuisance for him. The side of TSM, they need to ride through this rough spot. 0 to 6. If Shopify Rebellion keeps that pace up and maybe start to find some objectives off the back of it. It starts to get pretty hellish for TSM.
I mean, they might find a kill now. Crit's being chased down. Problem is he is relatively fast just with the brown boots alone. Ari's going to intercept. Does have 1 point in Decrepify if he wants to throw it out. Crit is still just casually walking away. That's going to be so frustrating. Even the Radiant creep just blocking Whitemon from reaching the tusk, so Crit just needing to expend nothing to get out. Meanwhile, mid lane, Fly not quite landing the arrow onto Bryle. It's not quite as easy with the tornado setup from Arbet. So Bryle barely able to escape that situation. Certainly can't afford to die too many more times. Meanwhile, bottom lane, Saberlight. He has the Wolf form, but the Light Strike Array is going to land Timado. He has Laguna.
Oh.
Saberlight barely going to survive.
Oh.
40 HP. Whitemon, can he find him? Ari!
Oh!
Oh, the Nether Blast! Tips out immediately from Bryle.
Oh my god. I mean, it's a nice kill. You force out the Wolf form. You buy some space for Timado, freeing him from the clutches of Saberlight. And the tips, you know, the tip game is the most important there.
Absolutely.
Get into Saberlight's head. We saw him have a rough game one, stuck on just the Blink and Guardian Greaves for so long. And now, the one thing TSM can do with this duo is push.
Crit.
Hello, Crit.
Caught out again here on the task. See if he can get away this time. Snowball will be back towards the creep wave. Should be just fine to escape. Bryle, he's going to find his own exit route now, but we'll go back for the Courier of Arbet. Still has plenty of mana to juke and jive here if he wants to. We'll actually see Crit once again. For now, though, he'll just casually walk out, but they'll lock him in the shard, so instead he'll head down south. And now Ari's been caught out. Arbet with a tornado will lock him down. Ari gets cold snapped up. He'll go for it to Decrepify. Snowball is not going to quite land, and the arrow is going to be off the mark as well. They didn't have shards off cooldown, so Crit could not lock him in on that staircase. And while all this is happening, Timado is casually pushing the bottom tier 1 tower.
Yeah, getting a good shove in. It's not the big objective you'd want to take, but this is a lot of space for the Lina to just farm. You still don't have the presence out here for Saberlight.
The face of Saberlight when he died to the Nether Blast. He does not look happy, let me tell you.
I mean, he was so close to escaping. You know, you just feel a bit of frustration. They're rotating bot now, but Whitemon does scout out a little bit of that movement, so there's enough time for Timado to back off. Mind you, while Timado's farming freely, so is RTZ. So our two cores are having the best time on the map. And the one advantage for Shopify Rebellion is that Abed is having a much better time than Bryle at the moment. Not by much, but that build-up into the Witchblade isn't going to take that long. And as we've seen, Abed is much more willing to be active on that Invoker this game around.
Absolutely. I mean, you kind of got to be, right? Like, you don't want to be passive on this hero. I appreciate going for the Witch's Blade over something like a Midas here on this Invoker, but he did have a fantastic start, let's be fair. Was 2 levels ahead of Bryle at one stage. Not so much anymore, just 1 level ahead now. Bryle doing a decent job in trying to catch his way up. But the net worth is still about 800 gold difference between the two mid laners, which is not good news for him. Bottom tier 1 now going to be forced in. Whitemon is in the tree line trying to defend this the best he possibly can. But they are constantly using those wolves to try and have a look around and find this tree. And Living Armor can only do so much here for Whitemon. So he will show himself in the end, but does juke around in the tree line again, just pulling the creep wave over. Trying to reduce as much damage as humanly possible into this tier 1 tower. They should have it though. With the siege creep, it should be enough, and Saberlight will take the tier 1.
Yeah, they do manage to trade up top. Kasane just shoving in well with a max level retaliate, so doesn't take too long for him to get a shove in as well. Still rather even in net worth. Shopify Rebellion still maintaining that kill lead. Bryle's pretty low playing tag with Arteezy. They don't have enough physical output to really kill off the Terrorblade yet. But at least they're kind of trying to shove him away from that lane. Free farm.
I think we all lagged at the same time
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
Well, I was wondering, have I disconnected? But no, it's literally everyone in the game. Very good. With that, Jonathan, did you have any predictions about the odds?
I'm still guessing it's around the same ballpark in favor of TSM. Probably 1.6 to 3.5.
That was pretty close.
Yeah, what are we at?
We're 1.65 to Shopify Rebellion, 2.18 to TSM.
Yeah, it's a close one. Right, like, and again, I think before the series kicked off, a lot of people would have favored Shopify Rebellion on those odds. It's just been turned around. TSM's just been showing up today, and they've been making it pretty hellish. I mean, Shopify Rebellion already going for that mid shove. Living Armor still slows down that push by a massive amount.
TSM, they're going to try and move in. Kasane already getting arrowed up, and he just melts. My God, it's too much damage. That tier 1, I mean, they're still trying to heal it up. It's not going to be enough, though. There's just too much coming in from Shopify. There's just no way to defend this. They've got to just split up across the map and just keep that farm game going. The tier 1 will eventually melt.
Yeah, and that's the map control they need. They can just take over the bot. They can start to buy more space out for RTZ to farm. And they've got good vision. Really good defensive ward to spot Bryle.
Yeah, he's a big one. Crit, he wants to get in range for the Walrus Punch first. The Moonlight Shadow going to make it rather easy. Bryle going to get stunned up with the arrow as well to follow up. He is gone. No way of surviving through that.
Just good wards. They know where TSM will want to farm up. They know that they're going to try to sneak up top, take away some camps from RTZ, and just stay away from the blindness of the bot jungle. And they punish. Shopify Rebellion now looking much stronger, 1-8, less than 1k lead. But TSM are still getting good farm out for Timado. The Lina is still allowed to get the scaling going. BKB on the way. It's still building into it. And you've also worked yourself almost into the Kaya here for Bryle. So a little bit more presence out for our Storm. Side of Shopify, they're about to hit that Overlord timing for Saberlight. Once that's up after the Vlads, that Ancient Creep is just going to be causing hell. Like, we've seen the issues already. It's super easy to burst these heroes down if you can focus on them one by one. The team fight presence for TSM isn't really there. And it's just tougher for them to kind of save each other outside of expending Stampede to run off, which you don't necessarily want to do on these supports or one of these softer targets. So all you can do on TSM right now is keep stalling, keep trying to build up, but you have to be aware of just how much space RTZ's gotten. Like this Terrorblade, just with a Dragon Lance and Yasha, RTZ's more than confident to just stand up front. He's tanky enough that the magical burst, unless the Lina's there, plus Storm, it's not enough to really hold him down just yet.
At the very least, Timado's still ahead. Just by about 1k on the Lina. Almost has the full BKB up now, just needs the recipe available. And once he does have the BKB up, he can choose to get involved with his team for some big team fights if he so wishes. TSM maybe just confident with the fact that they have this POS 1 Lina, they'll be able to just out-carry the TB a little bit later on. I mean, it is still Lina after all. It's one of those heroes right now where you just first phase it and it just feels like it does everything you want. Literally everything. Shopify Rebellion. Just taking the game very, very calmly here. Very slow game for them. No need to rush. 1-8. Less than 1k in their favor. Kasane might get spotted here, but does get a hoof stomp off first. Onto Saberlight. They would love to catch this Lycan. Overgrowth is going to hold him down, but he got the wolf form off, and they don't have the damage. Saberlight is fine to run out. They are still trying to find him, but it's not going to be enough. Bryle, he'll keep the fight going a little bit longer, but it seems like they'll have to retreat. Kasane drops way too low, and this time Saberlight will not get caught.
They expend a lot from TSM to try to get that chase going. Overgrowth and the Stampede gone. Not finding that kill. Shopify Rebellion more than happy to just kind of play tag. Use that space to keep building up on RTZ. TSM as well, building up on Timado. But you are sacrificing. Like, this kind of movement out from Kasane and from Bryle early on, without the kills, it's starving them to farm.
Bryle gonna get caught with a Walrus Punch, but the Hoof Stomp is there to back him up. Bryle, he'll cop the EMP, dropping very, very low now. The Tornado, it does connect, and Bryle is down. Just never got a chance to zip away. The Cold Snap making it so challenging for him. Abed will happily take his life. When you look at the farm of Bryle, he's just so far behind. Still less than 5k net worth.
Yeah, he's barely above his own supports. It's just the nature of what they're trying to do on TSM. They're forced to be active with the Storm because there's no one that can connect with Kasane. Pugna, you don't really burst anyone down fast enough with that Centaur. You can't do much with a Treant as well in that combination. So it has to be the Storm because Timado's not going to stop farming. And it just sacrifices a lot from Bryle. He doesn't even have that Kaya up yet. They're grouping around. They've got that BKB up and running now in Timado, so maybe you can have him join in. Shopify Rebellion, they're just confident. Good scan out, though. Should lead to a nice angle for the smoke.
Let's see what happens. I mean, Timado maybe just trying to bait in the mid lane, showing on the tier 1 tower, but nobody's taking said bait. TSM, meanwhile, they'll wrap around through that dire jungle. Arteezy is showing on the top creep wave, but immediate TP out. He senses something is awry. Back into the mid lane they go. You've got the initiation from Kasane if you want it, but they don't want to start with crit. You can always just pop the snowball and get away. Instead, just focusing on that mid-tier 1 tower, Timado will take it out. Again, they won't really find the big fight they wanted here, TSM. So the BKB, it'll completely be unused here for Timado. Wymon, though, he's kind of stuck around. Snowball is going to connect here onto the tree, and Arrow does whiff, but it won't matter. They'll keep up the vision with crit. And so in TSM, they will lose something for this tier 1, and now Shopify, knowing it's a 4v5 scenario, they want to go. No overgrowth up, at least for 15 seconds till he respawns, and Ari is going to get spotted. Shards, a little bit off the mark. Ari, he'll run towards the north, and it seems like Shopify do not feel safe going that way. Instead, they might try for Roshan. And they will. Wymon's back up. He'll TP to that top tier 1 tower. Roshan is dropping very, very quickly, but there is time for TSM to try and intervene here if they realize it is happening. And they will. Timado, he'll make his way over. Such an important Roshan. Bryle will get close. They'll place the Nether Ward in the Roshan pit. Arteezy's still going. They want to get rid of that dominated creep, and they do. Meanwhile, Kasane losing quite a bit of mana there. Arteezy still trying to take the Roshan down. They want the Roshan fight. Bryle, he's going to zip in. Who's got the Aegis though? Roshan's got Bryle. He's got it. The overgrowth. It allows them to pick it up. And now Shopify just need to run. This is not the fight, boys. It is not the fight. Shopify, it seems like they'll be okay to get Arbit and fly out of there. But I believe it was Whitemon that put an end to everything with that overgrowth.
Yeah, that's just well angled coming out from Whitemon, and they follow through quite well. The coordination's out there. Bryle jumps in. They get the Aegis out, and they have a pretty good net worth advantage. I say pretty good. Timado's 3k above Arteezy now. I mean, this Lina, it's quite the hero once it gets farmed like this. They are trying to run down Whitemon with the creeps. Sunstrike? Not quite in the tree line there for Whitemon. And the side of Shopify Rebellion, I mean, it was their opportunity, right? They feel confident. They found one nice kill on Whitemon. They couldn't melt Roshan fast enough. The respawns are fairly short at this point in the game. And just comes in, casually walks up. It's an old school play. Walk up, overgrowth, steal Rosh. Easy.
Yeah, there it is. Overgrowth was perfectly timed, by the way. I mean, to be fair, Bryle was right on top of the Roshan, so he would have had first dibs on the Aegis anyway, but the overgrowth just ensuring they had no potential to try and fight back. Shopify, I mean, it's a big loss for them. That was Arteezy's first death of the game as well. Suddenly 2k advantage the way of TSM, and I mean, considering how tough of a game Bryle's had on this Storm, now that he has that Aegis up, having those 2 lives in the next team fight, obviously going to mean a big deal to him. And it allows him a bit more farming space as well. Like, he's still 7k in net worth. Still one of the lowest on the board, but he still has that huge impact.
Yeah, because he has so much room to just zip in. There's no instant stun that can threaten him.
They got a Grove Bow. How do you make Lina more broken, John?
Yeah.
Give her a Grove Bow.
There you go. If only you had the old Venge aura with range.
Oh,
that would make it very balanced.
No, don't bring that up.
Can you imagine if we knew Lina would be a great right clicker then? Ooh.
Oh, look at that tier 2 tower.
Ooh.
Arrow's gonna land actually, but Kasane's there. Onto the Mirana. You almost would have preferred the arrow land on the siege creep at this stage. Yeah. Kasane's just gonna walk in.
Yeah, he's got the damage block to just retaliate back to the tower. Nice objective to take here for the side of TSM. Shopify, for their part, they're farming down bot and taking that jungle space while they can. Getting the build up. They're trying to work onto that Scotty now for Arteezy. Lots more durability. Lots of ways to just stop any sort of healing coming out from the living armor or from Ari with that life drain. And Abed as well, still working onto that Hex. Again, the Hex is so key because you need that instant stun onto Bryle, because of that impact he has. Even with no items, as long as he's not being punished and instantly locked, he will have a lot.
Fly's getting the Lina treatment up top lane. My God.
Balanced.
For anyone that missed that, it was literally Gleipnir into stun into right click. I believe it was maybe 4 right clicks till he died. Very good. I love this hero. TSM. Down bot lane. They'll smoke up. They saw crit. They'll go for a Vortex. Brawl to set up. Kasane to follow up. Oh, and they're getting real warm now, TSM. They're feeling it. Shopify, I mean, it was like 1-8 in the first 5 to 10 minutes, and now TSM, they just hit their timings, and they're happy to go.
And they were 1-8, but they didn't have a clear net worth lead. it was still slightly in TSM's favor because they were sacking a lot of heroes to get RTZ up as well.
I wonder what the odds are right now from our betting partners, esportsbet.io. Like, it'd be...
I guess...
There it is.
Yeah, what is it at?
1.60 to 2.28. Costs 50% bonus on your first deposit. But, man, oh man, how the odds swing real fast.
Oh?
Zip in again. Looks like they found Saberlight, but Bryle could not get him before the wolf form. He's going to be okay to back, but Timado has the Gleipnir. He will not land the Light Strike Array, though. The Moonlight Shadow. It does save the day, but Arteezy, no. Oh, they caught the bigger target. Who cares about Saberlight? We've got Arteezy.
Yeah, I mean, no, if you want to prove a point, Saberlight's still the morale booster kill.
Not anymore, he's not, John.
Arteezy's the bigger target in terms of the game, of course. Man, Timado's just so far ahead. How is this hero here? 16k versus a Terrorblade 11k, and Terrorblade is not a slow farmer. And Arteezy's had a lot of room, but the impact Timado has is just insane.
Bryle, big zip in. He wants his revenge against Abed. Crit is going to try and save by a little bit of time for Abed to back his way out. Kasane has 5 seconds till that blink is available. Looks like they won't be able to catch the Invoker. But now a 3k advantage. Going back to Timado, like you've already mentioned, his net worth is out of control. You know, and he's playing a very balanced hero as well. So, you know, it's the net worth. It's kind of like he's at 17k, but it really means 25k.
Yeah, it does because of Fiery Soul, her range. It's he doesn't even use the Grove Bow here, Mike. He's using the Nether Shawl.
I mean, it'd be unfair if he did, I suppose. Fly bottom lane. Getting chased down now by Bryle. Bye, Fly.
Just don't have that hard lock for Bryle. Not until that. Well, you do have the Hex and Abed. So there is that option. And Bryle is still saving up for his BKB. They're really using the battery on Aryu quite well. Just constantly topping up Bryle, ensuring he's always zipping around on the map here.
Jump in on Kasane. He's not an easy target to take out. Arteezy's going to pop the meta. There's so much armor on Kasane, and he's got the Stampede anyway. Abed's going to intervene. Tornado will land. There is a lot of teammates around here for Kasane if they want to make the jump in. Decrepify there as well. Kasane is still trying to walk away, but eventually will go down. Ari, he's going to be alright as well. Saberlight unable to stop the TP.
Yeah, they find a nice target though. Kasane is, I say a nice target, but really it just feels like everyone except Timado, as long as you're not losing Timado, you're happy. Just look at that net worth gap. Like, everyone just looks so poor in comparison. It's not that they are, it's just Timado's overly rich.
Yeah.
At this point in the game.
You can't give this man Lena.
Nah, you know what's funny? This is a thought I had as well. This is almost the exact same build-up we'd see on Klinks, right? Like, brown boots, Falcon Blade, Gleipnir, but Klinks is so dead.
Yeah, thankfully.
And Lena's just, yeah, this is how it actually works, guys. What a hero.
I hated that Klinks patch, man. That was disgusting. It was actually revolting to try and play against.
I mean, some players still try it, right? Like, I think
they
you see,
do.
like CDR and C.
And I appreciate the MMR, John.
Yeah, well, I'm sure Shopify Rebellion is appreciating the perfect balance that Timado has right now. And they still have answers. They just now need a way to jump in. They're actually working on a blink for Abed just to get that blink hex. Or at least just to have a way of getting an instant jump on. Because that is what their lineup lacks. At the least, Crit has his own blink up as well. There's enough of a delay in the snowball that unless you kind of stack some stuns on, Bryle can still zip around. And a smoke out here from TSM.
Double damage active on Bryle. If they can find someone to be very, very happy right now. They'll move into that dire triangle. Nobody there. Saberlight, he's at the top lane. They haven't scattered him out yet. They'll overtake that triangle on the dire side anyway now, TSM. They'll happily hold that position. Brawl's still having a look around through the mid lane now. Of course, they'll know now that the dire jungle is occupied. Double damage, though, is going to wear off, but it seems like TSM still want to try and go for a fight. Courier does go down. That was the Skadi.
Oh, boy.
That was the point booster to finish off the Skadi for Arteezy. That's a huge timing on Terrorblade as well. That's going to feel real bad for Arteezy.
Yeah, it's a big courier take.
Bryle, oh, they miss out. I don't know if that was quick reactions or what from Bryle, but they miss out.
It's got to be the Hex. It's got to be Abed with his blink that he's queuing up. Because if you don't, Bryle, he's just dancing around him so far. Again, he is actually poorer than everyone, but it doesn't matter. You just don't have the lockdown. And my God, I know this is just the worst graph I've seen. I keep going back to it because I haven't seen this kind of graph in a while. It's ridiculous. Like, this 4K lead is entirely on Timado, and they have no answers.
He's 7K ahead of Arteezy. Yeah, his team's letting him down right now in terms of the net worth lead, John.
That they are. And for the side of Shopify, I mean, you get this build up on Arteezy, and you're fairly tanky on Saberlight now with a full AC. You do have play. The issue is, it doesn't feel like they've cleared out enough the map. With the top tier 1 still standing, Roche access for TSM still fairly smooth. Triangle control smooth as well. They just have so much more farming access points without any worry, and they have really nice wards just to watch any sort of weird movement as well.
Mid lane. Ari's showing. He'll get rid of the mirror image. They'll see Timado. That's the big target. If you can make a jump in with the Hex, be very happy. Wolves running around as well, scouting out TSM. More illusions to run in from the mid lane. They'll get rid of those. Seems like TSM want to go for a bit of a smoke, and they will. They'll pop one. Brawl's still in the base, but making his way over. Shopify, they should know exactly where they are right now, but there's going to be a wraparound into that dire jungle. Smoke on smoke scenario now. They need to find the leader. That Hex on the lane is so important. Ari, he's going to break the smoke. They found Arteezy. Gleipnir is there. Overgrowth out. Hill Manta. Light Strike Ray did land. They are melting, but Brawl runs in, and he's got the Terror Blade. Arteezy's gone. Crit in trouble. He will drop to boot. Shopify, can they fight back? It doesn't look like it. At least Kasane, he will go down to Abed, but Abed is still being chased by Timado. They'll leave him be, but Roshan's open.
Oh, that timing's just way too perfect coming out from TSM. They had to buy back on Ari, but you don't really mind. He's just here as a battery. He's just here to top up Ryle and Timado every single time. And they have more than enough damage to take this rush. There is Wolf Vision here. So Saberlight's micro is still kicking into gear. They might be able to maybe go for a cheeky deny. No sentries around from the side of TSM.
Oh, zip in again. Abed, Tornado, Hex is there. He does not want to die right now. He just wants to delay the Roshan. His team are incoming. TPing towards the dire outpost. They've got to try and make it in time. Roshan's so low, they've got to get in there. There's no time to wait. Crit's got to blink up, but it's too late. So hard to predict the timing without some vision in that Roshan pit. And so now Aegis up on Timado. He's so close to a Satanic as well. Once that Satanic is up, oh man, it's rough. And oh, there's a Shards in the Storm.
Yep.
Uh-oh. Here we go.
That's where it gets fun with the Lina. Overload on Lina with that range. Boy, oh boy.
Oh my goodness.
40 attack speed bonus.
Like she needs it.
Yeah. Just in case, you know, 7 stacks of Fiery Soul not enough. Here you go. Have a little extra.
Timado. Caught. BKB there. He's actually attacking Fly, but the Gleipnir doesn't connect. Instead, he'll come after... Look at this balance. There's 5 heroes on the high ground, and he's still comfortably fighting.
Yeah, he doesn't care. It's like, oh, so what? You know, I have Aegis, I have damage, I have BKB. And as you mentioned, with the Satanic coming up, you really have nothing to worry about right now. It's a very smooth Lina game so far for Timado. The blink for Abed, I feel like that's going to be the key timing here. It's only 280 gold off. Once you have at least one wave blinking in, see, the thing is, if Abed blinks in Hexes, he doesn't have a BKB. So it's a double-edged sword up against this Centaur follow-up stun. And it's a massive risk, but it's a risk that Shopify Rebellion need to take because there's just no way of jumping any of these heroes. They've only been finding Ari so far in Whitemon.
Oh, Abed. I'm going to get spotted at the top lane. Bryle stays out the creep wave. There's the Satanic being finished off now for Timado. Arteezy still just trying to get towards his own BKB. Such a rough affair for now for the Terrorblade. Just something you don't get to see very often. Arteezy not being at the top of the net worth board, but Timado's, he's just had so much space this game. Not so much for Arteezy. Shopify not out of this game yet. 8k behind though. Can't really afford to take a fight right now.
Timado?
Oh boy,
Oh my
look
God.
at this.
He just traveled in. They saw that travels as well.
Oh my good. Saberlight, he shook. Yeah, this guy shook.
Shapeshift down on the respawn for 40 seconds. That's the opening to high ground. They can just siege.
Oh, here we go. TSM. One game away from being the best team in North America for 201. You'd love to hear that title if you are TSM. Timado, you'll keep going. At tier 3 tower, not going to last very long. And it's gone. I mean, you want to wait for Saberlight to try and force this fight, but again, without the wolf form, it's going to be a very rough kind of team fight to take.
Yeah, they just let it go. They have this blink hex up, but they know that there's just no protection for Abed once he gets that play out.
Bryle almost found the courier of Arteezy with the BKB on it.
Oh my god.
Almost. Not quite.
Full rate pack up now as well for Whitemon, so even more physical reduction coming out with that Crimson Guard. It just feels like Arteezy's damage, even with Metamorphosis, it's just gonna tickle with these actives up.
Timado looking for that secondary lane of barracks. Saberlight is up, needs 15 seconds for the wolf form. If they lose the next team fight on their own high ground, that's it. There aren't many buybacks available. It'd be pretty much over. Moonlight Shadow was there. Shopify looking to set up. Timado, dominated creep, will get taken down instantaneously. The Guardian Greaves will do nothing. Gleipnir out. They found Crit on the tusk. He needs some help. There's your wolf form, but Timado, he's not gonna back. He's looking for the man fight. Chaos Meteor, Hex is out. Bryle, he won't find the Invoker. Arteezy, he's fighting by himself, but he's got the BKB. Overgrowth, he'll man to dodge it off, but Timado, look at him stand his ground. They can't deal with the Lina. They can't deal with her. They need to run. Arteezy, get the hell out of there. It's not safe, sir.
No.
He's gone. He might just be gone, but no. Aegis is gone, but Arteezy's down. 50 seconds without buyback, still they are still trying to fight. 3 down for the side of TSM, but Saberlight's gonna drop. They'll hex up the Lina. Timado, can he do it?
Oh my god!
It looks like he can. Abed's trying to run, but he's down as well. This might be over. It looks like Saberlight may have been left. Moon Meander may have been right. And TSM, they might be the best team in North America. One more kill will do it. Abed, he's trying, but the Gleipnir is there. Timado, he'll lock him down. That's it.
Oh!
It's going to be over. A rampage for Timado.
What?
GG is called, and that's why you'll never, ever get on his level.
Never ever. TSM, best team in NA, the best region in the world.
Woo!
They beat out Shopify Rebellion.
Well.
My god. One thing I will want to talk about. Let's go back to this.
Talk to me, John.
In game 1...